Alright, let's see what's new on Kotaku today. Yeah, Hearthstone, strategy. Hey, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yeah. Dragon Ball FighterZ gets an original character named Android 21? Excuse me?
Loading. Ciphering judgment.
Are you ready?
Death count.
So, big news for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Android 21 revealed. So she is a completely new original character, which the games has had original characters created in the past. My favorite saga in the Dragon Ball Z anime is the Android saga. It's just something about that arc that I just really like. I really like the character designs on the Android side, and I just like the whole technology, like more superior than the humans and stuff like that. That's kind of very interesting to me. It's always been interesting to me. Android 21 was created by Akira Toriyama. She is a female android, which doesn't come to a surprise to me really, because Dragon Ball doesn't really have a lot of its female fighters. So it is in question whether she will actually be an actual character or will she just be there for story purposes. I really hope that she's an actual character. And looking at just her design and, you know, this suit in particular that she's wearing, or this uniform, it does look like she can possibly fight in that. So I'm gonna assume that she will be a playable female character in the game. And I would also really like to see Android 19 and 20 being playable. Well, more specifically, at least 20, because I do like Dr. Gero.
You two must be the androids.
What? Impossible! How did you know we were androids?
Scanning probabilities. Scanning. Scanning. Analyzing.
Could not tell you off the top of my head.
So here are a few of the facts about Android 21. She is an android, brilliant, and possibly a rival of Dr. Gero. So she is either with Dr. Gero or always clashing heads with Dr. Gero. I'm not really sure how that's going to go. I'm going to assume that she's clashing heads with Dr. Gero. Not really sure. There's not much details on her. However, she is just as brilliant and possibly as menacing as Dr. Gero, and probably shares his same mentality of kill the aliens, which is, you know, Goku, because that's Dr. Gero's only purpose really. It's his secret purpose.
Just know that I despise every one of you, especially him.
Hey, does anyone have any bacon?
Either way, she is android. She became an android. So let me just give a basic breakdown of the androids, just in case you are not familiar. So let's start from Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero was a R&R guy, pretty much research and development, or the scientist of the Red Ribbon Army. So as a child, Goku eventually runs into and gets involved with the Red Ribbon Army. Involved meaning that he ends up fighting them. And Goku pretty much destroys the entirety of the Red Ribbon Army except for Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero actually survives the encounter and just starts planning revenge on killing the alien child that destroyed what he loved, I guess, you know. So he decided to create androids, to create beings that can destroy Goku. So he started off, and I'm just gonna go over the androids that are actually in the anime. So we start off seeing Android 19 and 20, which Android 20 is obviously Dr. Gero. So what happens here is Dr. Gero creates Android 19. Android 19 is completely android. It is nothing human about it, other than just the appearance, obviously, which doesn't really look very human other than it looking humanoid. But yeah, you can't just look at 19 and be like, oh yeah, it's normal. How's it going, man? Yeah, you look a little pale. Just a little bit, you know?
Wait, was it that fat clown thing? I thought that was a joke.
Well, clearly it was.
He creates Android 19. Android 19 is extremely loyal and follows everything Dr. Gero says pretty much to the note. Android 19 is also intelligent, very intelligent. So Dr. Gero wanted to live pretty much immortal. He wanted to become immortal. So Dr. Gero pretty much ordered Android 19 to transplant his brain into another shell, which that's what Android 19 did. And boom, Dr. Gero became Android 20. Has the same appearance as Dr. Gero, but he's in an android body now with the brain. So he's a cyborg.
Androids?
Actually, the technical term is cyborgs.
Androids.
Look, my point is, they're dangerous.
And that's that story. So now on to Android 17 and 18, arguably the most popular of the androids. So 17 and 18 were originally human. They were twins, brother and sister. They were kidnapped by Dr. Gero. I don't know if Dr. Gero kidnapped them personally, but maybe he did because he's a sick bastard. But he kidnapped 17 and 18 little twins, children. He kidnapped a couple of twin children so that he can convert them into androids to kill Goku. That is why he did that. Now, although 17 and 18 are referred to as androids, they are actually cyborgs as well.
Androids.
Because fragments of their memory are still intact, because they still recognize each other as brother and sister. Even though I don't believe they ever acknowledged that in the actual anime, it was obviously, I'm pretty sure it was acknowledged in the manga. So that automatically means they're not an android. They're actually still have human in them. They were pretty much cybernetically enhanced, and they were given biological, kind of like nanomachines, but not really, but biological cells, created cells, like biomechanical cells were put into them for the eventual merging with Cell, which is Dr. Gero's perfect creation, or his ultimate creation, which Cell then simulates them in a hentai style form. So that's great. I know a lot of people were like, oh man, I don't want 18 to be simulated hentai style, but I want to see it. Anyways, I don't want to go into extreme detail on their bios. This is just basic details, because this is about Android 21 and how sexy she looks. But there's still Android 16. Android 16 is fully Android. He is a fully Android. So Android 16 is fully Android. Android 19 is fully Android. 17 and 18 are technically cyborgs. Dr. Gero himself is a cyborg because he has this fully intact human brain. So Android 16, towering, huge green dude that is pretty peaceful, but yet still programmed to want to kill Goku.
Did he say Goku?
Calm down, 16. He's not here.
But I heard him mention Goku.
Just focus on your birds, buddy.
Acquiring birds.
He likes birds now.
There is not much information on Android 16 other than the fact that his appearance, his physical appearance, is based off of Dr. Gero's son that passed away. This is something I didn't actually really know until I looked it up pretty much this morning after I saw that Android 21 was a thing. That is very interesting. This would explain why Dr. Gero, even though he considered Android 16 a failed experiment or not he said in the anime that he is not complete. Do not activate Android 16.
Do not activate Android 16. He's not properly programmed.
Oh, and how many of us are? Howdy, folks. I'm Android 13. Look at my trucker hat.
Sort of in those words, sort of. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah. Is a personal project, I'm pretty sure, is a personal project of Dr. Gero, because he is basing his appearance. He's pretty much making his son. His son passed away before Goku even appeared and destroyed the Red Ribbon Army. He was shot and killed in action. He was pretty much a captain, or he was in high rank in the Red Ribbon Army, and he died. And Dr. Gero eventually made him into an android in the form of physical appearance. And since he did not have access to his son's brain or anything of his son, he had to just completely make him from scratch. So that automatically means he is an android. Probably his son, Android 16, had love of nature, and that probably explains why Android 16 likes nature in general and birds and the world and you know, he ends up becoming a good guy, even though he's still kind of programmed to kill Goku. But yeah, that's pretty much all we really know about Android 16. So now Android 21 is introduced into the story, which seems to be, according to this picture, if you look at this picture, she seems to be directly involved with Android 16 somehow. I don't know how, but somehow, which means that she is directly involved with Dr. Gero, because Android 16 is technically Dr. Gero's personal creation for himself, so that he can have a feeling that his son is back. I'm guessing because Dr. Gero is pretty much all alone, and he's just so fixated, you know, just on revenge, that he doesn't really care about anything else. But he still cares about his son to the point to where he is creating Android 16. That's pretty much all I have on Android 21. It wasn't much. There is not really much information on Android 21 at this point. There's no information on whether she is going to be a actual playable character, which I hope she is, and I'm pretty sure she is because she's an android. Or, you know, I feel she's a cyborg. I feel that she has a human brain in there, and that Dr. Gero she wanted immortal life like Dr. Gero, so either Android 19 transplanted her brain, because, you know, he's pretty good at that, obviously, because he did it with Dr. Gero, or maybe Dr. Gero himself did that to her. But the fact that she has 21 in her name, she's obviously was after Dr. Gero, so she's technically the newest android model, other than Cell. But Cell was in the whole process of being created, I don't know, a while back. Cell has been in the process of being, Cell was being created before I think any of the androids started being created. So he's like, Cell was like his big ultimatum, like his perfect lifetime project, which is probably why Dr. Gero made himself into a cyborg, why 19 transplanted his brain into a shell, so that Dr. Gero can live long enough to see Cell actually grow up. Because I think otherwise Dr. Gero would have just died out, and Cell would have just, you know, done his thing, and Dr. Gero wanted to live to see that, to see his ultimate creation, his perfect creation, rule the world, destroy Goku and conquer the world, and, you know, stuff like that, simulate his other creations to become perfect, my perfect form. Anyways, not much on Android 21. She looks super interesting, and I just hope that she is a playable character. She looks sexy. She at least has an outfit that seems like could be used in battle. And yeah, and I really like the way that Akira Toriyama designed her in, you know, the early 90s, late 80s, you know, feel of the Dragon Ball Z. And not a big fan of the super art style, but it has its really good moments. It does have its strong moments. Anyways, let's talk. What do you think? What do you think about Android 21? Is she going to be a playable character? Do you want her to be a playable character? Do you like her design? Is she busty enough? Does she look good? What do you feel her story is? I mean, it's all theorizing at this point, but let's talk. Write down your comments in the description. I really want to hear what you guys think about this. So, anyways, I'm Kamuro Tetsuo, and you just watched the death count video. And, like always, rock on.
Death count activated.